'cause I like you. Want some milk in my cereal. Want you to be my girl. Oh, my Dedra. Oh, my Dedra. It's my treasure, pleasure, my Dedra. Dedra, Dedra, my Dedra. Think she just smelled their fart. She just stole my heart. Can't help the heart low. I can never let her go, 'cause she's my Dedra. Oh, my Dedra.
It's repeat listenings that cause the most damage.
With MakingStarWars.net.
Hello, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and we're going to talk about all kinds of Star Wars stuff.
I'm gonna have Milky Fascist stuck in my head for 3 days, dude.
Milky fascist.
I mean,
She is a milky fascist. She does like cereal, but
that Eye of the Eye, Bob of the Eye, that's the winner for me. That Milky Fascist is a strong second place. That's the best lyric I've read in 20 years.
I think it's funny that I spend about a good 12 hours on that stupid song in totality. And then I spent about 15 seconds on the Iger one. Yeah. You're like, that's the one, baby. Well, that's the one right to the top.
But to be fair, covers are easier to do. I could sit here and conjure up lyrics to covers. It's just we're all going to get every video demonetized. We could do covers. If they didn't demonetize, we could do covers left or right. We probably
that'd be so fun.
You probably have 10 times the channel reach if you were able to do covers and not have the fucking whole channel blacklisted off YouTube,
during live streams. Yeah, that's the whole fucking problem. But,
as you learn with the different Snokes.
different Snokes was fine. It was Saved by the Bell Organa that they said no.
That's the one. Saved by the Bell, man. That's so good.
Yeah, they said no. But Acid True is letting everybody know that their Avatar 2 tickets are on sale. I want everyone to know I got my Avatar 2 tickets for my daughter and my dad. My son didn't want to go. He says, that stuff's dumb, is what he said. But I got the tickets. Rob doesn't have the tickets because he's not a real fan. He's a fake fan. He also doesn't have an Avatar 2 poster, and he didn't get the poster. And so, yeah. So if you want to talk about how much keeping Cameron happy, I keep Cameron happy. And
so I got 3 points to this.
Okay.
Everyone knows James Cameron's movies make their money the fourth weekend, not the first weekend. So when I'm there, watching it every fucking week, and I'll take one of the shows off, especially when there's big important news, when they want to hear what I have to say, I won't be here for that. I'll be watching now, just to spite all you motherfuckers. So that's one. Two.
Won't be coming to the Avatar show because he's a fake fan. Yeah, go on.
Two. I go to an independent local chain.
Right.
And so they don't do this whole, buying tickets a month and a half out.
Let's do this whole fucking thing. Selling tickets thing.
Yeah. Well, AMC needs all that early fucking money, because when you have a $300 million write down because you bought too many fucking theaters, then they need all the fucking tickets they can get.
Right.
And then 3,
I don't know anything about that, but okay.
And this is my bigger point, Jason. I was promised for the last year on this channel, for the last 10 years, that I would be the only fucking person in that theater. So far as I'm concerned, I should be able to just walk in 2 seconds before that movie starts and have the whole fucking place to myself. So I don't understand.
Rob, try it.
Why are what? Huh? Yeah, I'm going to.
Rob.
That's the plan. Yeah. I was like, what do I have to pre-order? If I'm the only one going, why do I have to pre-order anything?
I'm dying.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Everyone should still be seeing Top Gun Maverick when I go to see this fucking thing, and Spider-Man and Black Panther. And Well, the only place that's going to be more empty than my theater is the Black Adam theater. So
Right.
maybe,
Well,
maybe Jason,
the old
maybe.
thesis was, who needs Avatar when you have Star Wars movies? But we don't have Star Wars movies, so we have
See,
Avatar.
do you see? And
Everything's
you're not
fine.
getting Star Wars
We're
movies that put a lot of emphasis on quality CGI and the theatrical experience and a
Well,
deep,
it's
engaging
practical sets.
storyline
real
based
sets.
upon a mystical force that is at tune with warriors of a planet who have to fight an imperial empire.
Right.
A corporate empire that wants to, you know what I'm saying, Jason? Like, it's so
Wait,
funny. But
I thought this one was about Water. It's
But
called The Way of Water.
maybe if they had made a General Grievous movie, it would have had a whole trilogy out by now.
Oh, dude, can you imagine that, dude? Like, he really wears his heart on the outside, you know? Like, I can identify.
I just want.
I hope Rick
poke him.
McCallum produces it. Anyways, yeah. So
I was gonna say,
losers.
perhaps if
Why would Rob
Dwayne
pick
Johnson had called it Blue Adam, he might have had a shot at making more money.
Right.
But such is life.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. A bunch. So, do you want to talk about Indiana Jones, Bob Iger, or Star Wars video games first?
Well, we got the whole Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired bullshit again. So why don't we just deal with this?
Oh yeah, that. Aria was supposed to remind me. Where are you at, Aria? Is Aria here? Oh, Aria, there she is. Aria did it. Aria did her homework. Aria asked me about that. And so here's the thing: is a guy in the film industry tweeted out like, I heard that this was going to happen, and somebody else was on thin ice too, right? But it becomes irrelevant if in this industry, if you will, because every fucking week somebody tells me somebody's on thin ice, Bob Paycheck is going to get fired, and Kathleen Kennedy's on the chopping block every fucking time. And in that company, the rumors are probably real. So I'm not even saying like the film guy is wrong. The guy from Collider, I think. It's just like, I'm not saying he's wrong. It's irrelevant because you hear it so often. Eventually, the broken clock would be right twice, and you wouldn't even know if that person was actually telling you a true rumor. Does that make sense?
Always call it the broken Rob because I'm only right twice a year. So, you know, like
Okay.
like the broken Rob.
Broken
is
Rob,
right
Rob twice
yeah.
a year.
Mostly I'm wrong,
and-
but I do get it right every now and then.
But the prevailing wisdom is it's Josh D'Amaro. Is that how you say his name? Who's like the Parks guy who took over when Paycheck became like the main guy.
The guy that made it so
So-
you have to like pre-order every ticket to every ride a month in advance.
They actually kind of pulled back. I mean, some of that was okay. Some of that wasn't bad. Like, I don't think that's necessarily like the word it was nice, for instance, when you get a reservation for Rise of the Resistance and then you just show up to it and get on the fucking ride. I appreciated
Here's the
that.
thing though.
But
I get that,
but
Jason,
it was
but
too
I have people-
confusing for dummies was the problem with it.
And not for
Yeah.
the average person, they just would go and not understand. You know,
Yes.
like it just
They had a
you can't-
messaging problem.
Messaging problems, the
They did.
slightest way of putting it. You know, like
But
you
no,
can't-
but no,
you
I mean
can't-
people just didn't
imagine
understand.
like showing up to Comic-Con and not knowing what room you can get into, like any room, like the floor, the booth. You know, like it'd be so weird. So it's just
It does seem like they needed both. They needed to have the reservations and they needed to have a line for dummies. I mean, I really think that was the solution.
I'm a big dummy.
You know, did you go there and have that problem, Rob?
No, I haven't been to Disneyland since 2015. So, let me tell you what the last time I went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
No, and this is actually a red letter date, right? Like, I used to go every Christmas because the park was pretty much empty and it rained. And you know, Southern Californians, man, the minute fucking rain shows up, they just cry. And they play on Morrissey all fucking day and get all bummed out. Anyways, 2015, I took my nephew because his father.
You call
2014,
Morrissey?
his father had. Yeah.
Man, you
I pronunciate any fucking way I choose, bro.
That is
So
pretentious.
Morrissey.
Go on.
yeah. Hey, look, You see my ghetto here. I'm as pretentious as it gets.
Hey, that's
So I took my nephew because his father had passed away the year before. And I
Okay.
didn't want him to be all bummed out on Christmas, so I took my nephew, and then we all went to Disneyland on Christmas. Called my dad from there, and then my dad passed away while I was at the park, dude. Like, it was like the last time I talked to my dad, you know?
Right.
And so we were at the park, and we were at the California Adventure because I start there first, you know, take them on Soar and all that shit. And then we go to the main park, couldn't do it because apparently that was the year Bob Paycheck thought it'd be really great if they quadruple booked the park with like how do I say, giant groups from overseas, right? I don't care where they come from, but it was these giant groups of tourists, right?
Yeah.
And no one could get into the park. It was literally shut down over capacity.
Right.
Now, I've been going to Disneyland since 1984, right? I remember when Splash Mountain was a 6-hour wait. Like, you know, like I've never
Yeah.
seen the park at
Dark
over
times.
capacity. You know, like I think I remember a couple times, like when Indiana Jones ride first came out, that was kind of a big deal, you know. But over capacity is a whole nother problem, especially on like a day everyone's kind of like celebrating, I don't know, a holiday. Then
The birth of our
then
Lord
Jason,
and Savior
the
Jesus Christ.
then the flu broke out over there. So that was my
Yeah.
first pandemic like experience. And people were trying to get all racist. It's because there's Chinese people. No, that's got nothing to do with this. There's too many fucking people in this park, and this place
Wait
was
a
built
minute,
in
man.
1955.
Are you telling me you were in a prequel for the China virus?
Yeah, I was at Disneyland.
Okay.
I was go back and look at that 2014 breakout at Disneyland. That was like the first time I was like, oh, if you get enough of us, these dirty mother people. And then I was like, that's when I became really aware of the anti-vax movement. You know what I mean? That's when like all that shit was. So I'm familiar with this dude like turning the park into like let's put too many people in there so we never have to worry about downtimes, and then the quality of your experience goes to shit. And that just sort of continued all the way to the point now where you have to like getting tickets to go on a ride at Disneyland is more difficult than getting a hotel at Comic-Con. You know, like it's pretty crazy.
Right. I'll hold to tell you what. Anyways,
But Knott's Berry Farm is always open. It's always
always open.
Never have to worry. I say go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, it's a little rickety there right now. I was there.
That's what I love about it.
Oh, you're remembering. It's more rickety and scarier.
Oh, I
Got
love
mine
it.
right,
Funnel
sounds like you're
cake
gonna die.
and everyone about yes.
Yeah.
That's the kind of that's how I remember theme parks.
All right, so just this is just I thought interesting if it's true. Disney board reached out to Bob Iger on Friday about coming back as CEO. Disney senior leadership, including CFO Christine McCarthy, had concerns with Chapek's management of the company. Chapek and his inner circle were caught off guard by the news, which broke Sunday. Excuse me, I'm coming down with something, but yeah. So there you have it. I mean, in case if that's true, that's. I mean, I'm not really like. What did you call it? Would you call it as golden parachute? Who cares? And I agree with you.
Yeah, this guy's getting paid millions of dollars. I mean, it is funny to see a CEO finally go, I was blindsided. Well, that's called at-will employment, fuckface. This is what you've been doing to park employees and animators and creatives for God knows how fucking long, right?
Right.
So, boo fucking who for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's embarrassing. Oh, it's so embarrassing with my fucking millions of dollars, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he can go to Knott's Berry Farm. That's what,
Almost
if
as-
I was him, I would literally go to the Universal Studios or to Knott's Berry Farm and take a photo of me, you know, enjoying my day off. Like,
Yeah.
I just troll the other side.
It's almost as embarrassing as having to live in your car to work at Disneyland.
Yeah, like most park employees, you know.
I don't know about most, but some have. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Okay. Some park employees.
Hey, I'm trying to be the fair
get all
guy.
Trumpy.
I'm trying to be fair. Some people are saying that most live in the cars. Some people are saying, but that's just Rob. It's not really true.
Right.
But some people, yeah. But I mean, that should have been more embarrassing to him.
I'll tell you when I knew the dude was done. You know, like this
Okay.
dude's not going to make it. And this just comes from having, like, you and I lived through the Michael Eisner period, which started off great and then slowly devolved into Michael Eisner picking a fight with Pixar to the point where Steve Jobs is going to leave. and then this is detailed in the book Disney War, which is actually pretty accurate from all the people I've spoken to about it. So, I'd say as far as accurate as books get, let's say it's over the 50% line, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good territory. So the Paycheck picks a fight with Pixar. Bob Iger back in the day was the one that like mediated with Steve Jobs to come back to Disney, and then they bought them, and then they shuttled that weird Toy Story 3 movie they were making. And that was the end of Eisner, basically, was Pixar. And it's like, when your Pixar employees are like, we're going to revolt, the people that brought you all your Oscars, by the way, like if it wasn't for Pixar, Disney wouldn't have an Oscar at all. Like, like that, let's just be honest. Like, that's their awards cash cow, like that's,
Right.
it sold toys when they didn't know what the fuck to do with their lives. So what are they, every now and then they go through a spurt of movies you don't like, but it's irrelevant. That Cars fucking shit, I can't stand. That put more money in the coffers than people know. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cars Pajamas probably made more than some Marvel movies. I could be wrong about that, but it does seem. I
mean,
does seem like that's
look
the
what
case.
ride got built first.
Yeah,
the whole Cars Land got built before all that shit. So,
yeah.
So when Paycheck was like, I get not releasing a movie during pandemic, but when it was like none of these films are getting released, and then the Lightyear movie was marketed in probably the most ham-handed way since they intentionally tanked the John Carter marketing. Remember when they they intentionally tanked that because they were doing the Star Wars deal. I was like, are they intentionally tanking Lightyear? So like this is the weirdest fucking. I don't care about I think it was a bad creative decision to do, but the marketing was as milquetoast as it gets. And then they got their new So anyway, when that happened, I'm like, this dude's, it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work.
Yeah, well, like we were talking about before too. I mean, you're not really gonna take kids to see kids movies that are going to be streaming in 45 days. It's just not worth the COVID risk. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the hassle.
When Minions made like $1 billion fucking dollars. By the way, I liked the first Minions movie a lot. The second one, I don't like it. I don't like the second Minions movie.
My children love them.
Because they like grew.
They're little kids, and they're.
I like it when it's the Minions. When it's just the Minions and no one can understand them, and they're hanging out with psychotic families and trying to find, like, that shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
But when it's all like, how do I say this? Like the first, I know we're talking about Minions, but who the fuck cares? So
Minion show. Whatever.
So the first film felt like when animators and artists were doing the gags, right? Like you come up with things creatively, and the second film feels like when actors are like improvising in a booth and they put it in a movie. Yeah. I don't like actors improvising in a booth and putting it in a movie.
Right.
I don't like it.
So don't do it, actors. Rob will get you.
But hey, cartoons aren't for adults, right, Jason?
Yeah. Well,
like as an artist, man, I love it when CEOs. I heard once a T-shirt CEO walk through the halls and tell one of their clients that this is like a family. They're like my children. And I'm like, I'm not your fucking kid. Like I yelled. And I'm like, I'm willing to get in trouble for this one. Because I'm not going to sit here and have a guy half my age tell me he's like my father. Like that shit ain't happening. So when the guy who runs an animation studio tells all their animators who are animating who are adults that this shit ain't for adults, like why do you think? Come on, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, that's how the original Star Wars was made. You gotta sit on George's lap, call him daddy, and then he'd be like, "Here, go make a Dexter flex for daddy."
That's how Bob Iger bought Star Wars. I don't know if you're aware. He just sat on George's lap.
Aria, I'm glad that you were vaccinated so that way you could watch the show. Because she says, sorry, Rob, but every time I took the vaccine, my 5G has somehow gotten better. It seems very sus. So,
very clever.
Michael Eisner was the reason that Indiana Jones went to Paramount. He was the one who got the deal, and it was originally 4 or 5 picture, 5-picture deal, and which we are seeing end now. I don't know if it was ever renegotiated, but the last Rinsler book about the Indiana Jones quadrilogy at the time just said,
I hate that word, by the way.
I know. I hate the whole thing. I don't know what you call it. But point
I hate
B,
verse more, but quadrilogy I hate. I've hated longer since that alien bullshit.
In the Indieverse, the quadrilogy Indieverse, we'll just combine them, make it ultimate. But basically, it was a 5-picture deal. So there was always going to be a 5-movie deal, and if they didn't use Harrison in the 5th one, they'd have to pay him still. So that's why I was always of the opinion. If you look back at our old shows about Indy from the last couple of years, or when we started this YouTube show, I was just like, I don't think Chris Pratt's going to be Indiana Jones unless they have him share the screen with Harrison Ford in a back and forth kind of
Let's
thing.
be honest, it
because
should have been Bradley Cooper.
I don't know.
If you're gonna do one of these stupid
those
Hollywood
guys are
guys,
too old. Those guys are all older than Harrison Ford when he was Indiana Jones. Like, if you're gonna go for it with somebody with longevity, I say. But I don't know. I don't.
it's crazy.
I don't honestly. I don't feel like any of
Indiana's
these people. I don't feel like fucking Chris Pratt or Cooper have the magic. So I say fuck them all. Let's just do CGI for it. Let's just not do it at all. All right. So let's go over.
Bao, the god of dumplings, to play Indiana Jones. Burn it all down. You know.
Oh yeah. Hopefully you can hear me. Here, let's give Bestman Bulletin some walk around money, and you could go to his coffee page and you could give him a little tip. And so I did, and those little things come down. Yeah, and you can leave a message, like your short round on it, and be condescending, which is always fun. But we use his articles, so I thought it would be a good idea that we give him a little bit of a tip, just the tip for Bestman Bulletin. Be sure this.
He's like, no, Rob tricked me the last time. Don't be doing
that last time. Yeah, so we'll just hit this really quickly before we go on to the Indiana Jones news. Multiple reports. Oh yeah. Before we go on, actually, I think it's ultimately very good that Bob Iger's back, and the reason being is that the vibe. I never got anything truly horrible from Chapek when talking about Star Wars. It seemed like maybe like there was no direction, but it did seem like there was a little bit of like acknowledgement about the Solo thing, and that the fear came in the fact that they can fuck it up, and that seemed to be it wasn't like everybody's afraid to make a Star Wars movie. They went into a purposeful, like, we're gonna put all of our eggs in Disney Plus, and that was the like charter. But you would hear things about Solo a lot. The good thing for Star Wars is Bob Iger's the one who fucked Solo up. Solo was his mistake. And so when he left, it was like Lucasfilm's mistake. They owned it after Iger left. They inherited his mistake. And now that he's back, it's probably good. It probably means that we won't see that mistake made again. Iger, while he's
also the reason why episode 7 was fast tracked so quickly.
Yeah, there's the reason. I mean, he's the reason. So
he's he's not imperfect here. Let's not go around.
Well, yeah, he's the reason that episode 9. I think 7 was a success. 7 did what they intended. 7 and 8 were the intention. Episode 9, not
Attack
so
of the Clones
much.
did what it was intended too. But, time will tell.
No, I've told you guys, Lucas was disappointed in himself about.
I know you tell me, but I don't listen. I just shit my ear when you're just like blah 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 blah.
Right.
So,
but
look, the dude's only gonna be. He's only re-up for 2 years. Iger picked paycheck. So the real question is, will this dude last longer than 2 years? Can he actually fix all the problems in 2 years, or is this dude? Who's he gonna pick next? Like
the initial thing was that he's supposed to be grooming his successor in those 2 years. I don't think he will. I think he'll stay.
Choice of words.
I
think the guy should. Like,
I don't think he wants to go.
I'm sorry. You gotta be CEO of Disney. Like, gotta go to the premieres and you gotta text people and go to dinners and shit. Like, just shut up.
There was a time when he was sticking his toe in the water of a presidential run, and he was like filling stuff out, and he was looking into it. I think he just like looked at all of his options post Disney, and I don't think anything came to him. I think he liked being the guy at Disney. I think that's
he likes to pay off the politicians. Who wants to be the politician? I mean, politicians get paid off for $30,000. You can make that's chump change compared to CEO money.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I mean,
let's be honest too. Here's another downside to fucking to Iger or anyone else who's ran Disney in the last 100 fucking years. They don't know what to do with video games, man. Disney
Yeah.
to this day has never understood video games. It's the one thing that if Walt Disney lived in spry health till the 90s, he would have been on video games so fucking fast, that guy. Like so fast. And 3D animation. And it just took them a long time to get on board those two things. And to this day they still don't understand uh the video game side of it. You know? I mean, yeah, the Jedi Fallen Order is great. I'm trying to segue into games.
Oh,
But I've had
well,
this like
Steven
point
has a good
where-
question though. He has a good
Okay.
question. He says, "What does it mean for the 10 movies they have planned? Will it whittle it down to just one or two?" I don't think personally. I don't think so. I think movies are kind of the bread and butter for the most part. So I don't think
Watch him
so.
fast track that Mando movie, my friend. Like
The thing that people so now there's going to be a little bit of hyperbole in this, okay, but it's the best way to explain it. But JPEG was a bean counter, and Iger is a creative producer,
thumb counter, Jason. Thumb.
and
counter.
yeah, and so so with Bob Iger, if you have a really good idea, I think he'll throw money at it. If he thinks that's a really good idea, like this could really make a lot of money, and it's a really good idea that would give the company longevity, he'll toss money at it. Whereas JPEG's wait and see, show me, you know. So could we see some of these movies that are out there getting changed around or something like that? I'm sure something will happen. I'm sure there's some idea that's just not good. I'm sure that there's or is mismanaged that he's gonna like probably rein something in. So I would expect it, but I would also expect the it not to necessarily slow down. That would be my guess. And but we'll see. You know, it's all a big guess. I mean, who would have thought Iger would come back again? This is Iger's third time, really. He was there. He was supposed to leave, and he stayed, and then that made bad blood between him and JPEG. He stayed, and it was like, dude, you're supposed to fucking go. And I can understand him being JPEG being kind of annoyed with that. That's reasonable. But he stayed because of the pandemic for a little bit. Then he took off. And when you look at it, like it's really smart timing for Iger though, because it's almost like it's all getting pushed on over to JPEG. But like in theory, the worst of the pandemic is over. We should be coming out of it.
11,000 deaths the other day, but they're taking
Yeah.
forever to report them. So who knows how that was amortized over? You know,
Right.
we just don't know, man. Like that's the problem with the neoliberal fucking economy. Like left or right running the show, it's still fucking neoliberal economics, and so we're in a situation where, you know, they're just gonna just let everyone slowly fucking die of debilitating diseases, you know, and just act like it's business as usual. No, it's just normal. People just live, you know, you know, what are you gonna do? So I mean, I'm gonna get all fucking negative here, but whatever. I guess we should all celebrate that another rich white guy is in charge of a company that doesn't pay their fucking employees a living wage. So,
I mean, maybe.
And look, them people who wear them fucking costumes should be paid the most. We'll just be honest, man. You get out there, you got fucking randos touching them and shit. Lord knows what the poor actresses who have to play Tinkerbells and fucking Cinderellas have to put up with.
I think they're all furries and they like it. I think they're getting paid to do what they love.
Look, if they let you and I dress up in those outfits, we don't mind being grown up by older men, right, Jason? We're all for that. But
Just
you know,
put a couple of dollars in Pluto's little strap, little G-string here. I'm cool. But all right, let's get to Bestman Bulletin's article. Finally, we can do this. I know we can do it, Rob. I know we can focus. Can we? I can't.
Focus.
All right, here it is. So this pisses me off. This is why I decided to give Bestman Bulletin a couple of dollars today. Multiple reports claim that Star Wars Jedi Survivor will debut at new trailer at the Game Awards, which Bestman's been saying the whole fucking time. Bestman's been saying this the whole fucking time. So, and he's got Hives and he's on Mastodon. I made a Mastodon account. I think it kind of sucks. I don't really understand it, but I'm making Star Wars at dot party, Mastodon dot party or some bullshit like that. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what Hive is, but I've had Hives before and it's not fun. Back in October, journalist and insider Jeff Grubb revealed on his podcast, Games Best Mornings, that Star Wars Jedi Survivor was due to start marketing in December ahead of its long-rumored March release. When I covered Grubb's report on October 21st, Best Bid Bulletin, that my own sources had told me the trailer was expected to be unveiled at this year's Game Awards on December 8th. That's about a week before Avatar 2, where the real fans will be going, who already have tickets. Today, 2 individual reports are reiterating that a new trailer will debut at the Game Awards. Oh, you don't fucking say. I don't even need to.
Sorry, Jason. I was signing you up to Parlor. What did you say?
Oh, cool. That's I love Parlor. I remember one day the James Arnold Taylor, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, he was like, "Oh, what's this Parlor? Should I go make an account?" Everybody's like, "I'm gonna unfollow you," and all this stuff. And he was like, he didn't even know what was going on. He's like, "I just like to have things on every social media account." And they're like, he didn't know what it was, but it was like it was funny to see Twitter people, rather than trying to educate somebody, really just trying to like jump down their throat. Bespin was not credited in the article despite our successful track record. See, it's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. And I hate that Star Wars Newsnet thing of, oh, well, I didn't read your article, therefore I couldn't know, and it's exclusive to me.
Oops.
Now that I do know, I'm not going to change it. Because it was
I inadvertently stole all your info and monetized it.
Yeah. Like,
my bad, I stepped into stealing your shit puddle.
I'm pretty sure exclusive means you reported it first and I like you a lot. Otherwise, it ain't exclusive, buddy.
We was careful to slowly copy your name so people can't tell the difference.
What we do here at Star Wars Newsnet is we take the most mundane part of a very cool exclusive and we make that our exclusive. Okay? Okay. What's with the accents? I don't know. That's our dumb guy accent.
What's with the exclamation points?
Yeah,
huh?
What's with the exclamation points, huh? Huh, buddy? Huh, dude?
Huh?
Dude.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
Wait, this is the one I picked? I didn't think I even picked this one, but I guess I did. But so we'll do that one first. That's fucking weird. Where's this one at? There it is. Excuse me. Indiana Jones 5 will pit Indy against Nazis again, and in 1969. And one of the things that I don't think is in the article, might be, but I don't think it is, that Steven Spielberg didn't want to make a movie with Nazis in it. He doesn't like cartoonizing people that try to murder his people or did murder his people, like a couple million of them. And I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's fun to see him get punched in the face. If there's something Indiana Jones hates more than stinks, it's Nazis. Ever since Raiders of the Lost Ark, Harrison Ford's hero has been fighting Hitler's hordes, thwarting their plans, brawling with them, or even just letting them be hoisted by their own petard when meddling with ancient mythical relics. Given that the upcoming, as yet untitled, Indiana Jones 5 is set decades after the events of World War II, you'd be forgiven for thinking that Indy might have a different enemy this time around. But while much is new in the upcoming blockbuster, some things never change. If Indiana Jones 5 is back in action, so too are some familiar, fearsome forces.
Such a Stanley. Familiar, fearsome forces.
I love it.
True believers.
I'm a fan of that writing style. Empire can reveal that Indiana Jones 5 finds our... Oh, by the way, I saw House of Mouse in like 5 fucking industry articles last night. Fuck you if you write House of Mouse, you fucking lazy.
Look,
anyways.
The only thing anyone should ever use is the Mouse Factory because it was the best mouse show ever.
How about calling it the Mouse Trap? The Mouse Trap.
Mouse Factory.
I'm gonna get a girlfriend who works at Disney. I'm gonna call her the Mouse Trap.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make an agreement to meet someone on Tinder, but paycheck shows up instead.
Oh shit!
It's like, I'm giving you the tip, Jason.
I'm like, I saw that big old thumb, bald head, no eyebrow looking dude, but he had some lipstick on. I thought, well, why not?
Did you see Chippendales, the Chippendale movie?
No.
That's worth watching. It's got the craziest fight at the end against a Gumby character, and like, how do you kill a Gumby character? And
Remember,
like, I
Chris Farley
imagine
was.
that's what it's like to fight off paycheck. You know,
I like that Chris Farley was a Chippendale dancer. Um,
they bring that
Empire.
up.
Oh, okay. Empire can reveal that Indiana Jones 5 finds our hero in 1969. So, he's married. By the way, in all the pictures, Indy does have his wedding ring on, which was a scoop that I had. That's pretty obvious, but that Karen Allen was back. Living against the backdrop of the space race, but the American effort to beat the Russians to the moon brings with it some uncomfortable truths for Indy. So we're getting into some Operation Paperclip shit, I think, right? The simple fact is that the moon landing program was run by a bunch of ex-Nazis. Indiana Jones 5 co-writer and acclaimed British playwright Jez Butterworth tells Empire. How ex they are is
Love
the
that
question. Butterworth, it's the best. I wish it had an S. I wish it was Buttersworth. I'll let you say Buttersworth every time. Can you say Buttersworth every time?
Buttersworth.
Buttersworth.
Worths.
All right.
Buttersworths.
Buttersworths.
That's how I talk, buddy. That's my jams. Oh,
more-
Buttersworths.
Okay. How X they are is the question, and it gets up Indy's nose like cocaine. Pitching Indiana, a man always looking to the secrets of the earth rather than the stars. What? Into the era?
Wow.
Is that like
Working.
is that like a lag, or is that like a dig on 85 or 84? Into the era of the astronaut finds him even more of a man out of time.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, out of time. There it is.
But-
out of
but-
time.
I can't do the voice because I'm going through some voice shit right now. But like,
Yeah.
Lucas literally put a spaceship underground. Like, that is technically both the Earth and the stars. Like,
Interdimensional
spaceship.
beings, point in fact, is what the movie says.
It's a fucking alien. Let's shut the fuck up.
It's not just that the model of what a hero is has completely changed, says Butterworth. It's not just that they're looking for something where there's nothing up there. It's like Reno without the gambling or whatever his line is. But the people that are behind it are, his sworn enemies. Enter Mads Mikkelsen's villainous Vala.
Villainous Vala. Mads
VLLER.
Mikkelsen.
Vala. See above. Inspired partly by real Nazi turned NASA engineer Werner von Braun. He's a man who would like to correct some of the mistakes of the past. Jesus Mikkelsen of Vala. See, that's interesting wording, right? Mistakes of the past, like when the Nazis lost the war, maybe? Or that he was a Nazi. Find out next time on Indiana Jones 5. Jesus Mikkelsen of Vala. There is something that could make the world a much better place to live in. He would love to get his hands on it, like the Garden of Eden, maybe? Indiana Jones
Welcome
wants...
to the new show coming to Disney Plus, TGIN. Thank goodness it's Nazis, all right?
Oh, a paycheck. I'll get you fired, buddy. Indiana Jones wants to get his hands on it as well, and so we have a story. So listen to what he says. There is something that could make the world a much better place to live in. He would love to get his hands on it. Indiana Jones wants to get his hands on it as well, and so we have a story. So yeah,
Man,
and then
if
look, we
it's
have...
free energy, I'm gonna fucking throw myself off the roof.
I mean, it's we have two ways of taking this right now. It's either the time travel thing. I don't see how time travel would make the world a better place. Honestly, I think it makes it a worse place. I think Rian Johnson dealt with that in his movie. It's not a good idea. So I don't think it's time travel. And is it biblical? Is it I don't think the spirit of destiny makes the world a better place. I don't the Garden of Eden might. You know what I mean? It might. I mean, I'm trying to think of what could be like biblical if it's biblical.
For you and for me and Indiana Jones's race, there's people dying. Oh, sorry.
Maybe it's that stupid song about buying the world a Coke. Maybe it's a Coke. The gods must be crazy. It's a story that blends fact, fiction, fedoras, and fascist, including a major action set piece on the Apollo 11 ticker tape parade in New York, thrown to celebrate the astronauts on 13 August 1969. The sequence not only sees Boyd Holbrook's nefarious clabber, I'm a lapdog to mans and a crazy one at that, The actor
I got
says,
one eye and I use it.
caught up in the middle of his historic celebration. See, it's funny because he's up here going like he's like up here giving great quotes, like he wants to right the wrongs of the past, like he's this like good thing. And this guy's like, I'm a lapdog to him. So
I'm calling him J. Jonah Mickelson. That's
J.
what I'm
Jonah
calling him.
Nicholson. Yeah, he does have that mustache and that hair, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look over here in the background. Is that I think that's that one lady. Maybe I could be wrong, but right here with the dress. Did we see? Well, I think we saw her with some cool fucking pants though. So maybe it's just another lady with that fro. But that is a good fro though. Good on her. She looks adorable. There's a little. I think there's a little bow in it. Oh, she doesn't have a bow in it. She has a fucking. It's ticker. It's that paper falling from the sky. So, anyways, the sequence not only sees Boyd Holbrook's Nefarious Clamor caught up in the middle of the historic celebration, but also provides inspiration for Empire's exclusive subscriber cover that we've already looked at that a lot. So get a subscription to Empire if you want a copy, especially if you want the exclusive cover. But Empire's done some pretty cool things. Remember they had they had an action figure. They had a Kylo Ren figure in one copy of the magazine. Anyways, with the first images and interviews is what it's promising to have. Speaking to Harrison Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Matt Mickelson, Shawnette Renee Wilson. That's who I was thinking might be that woman up there, but probably not. Boyd Holbrook, Jez and Johnny Henry Buttersworth, Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall, and Simon Emmanuel. Hits new set on Thursday, November 24th. So that's the first one. All right. So get off my fucking ass, Rob, about that shit. Okay, get off my ass about it. And then, yeah, Antonio Banderas is in it. I don't think they've mentioned him though. Probably would give away too much of the plot. This is the one. This is the one with my girlfriend, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She doesn't know that we've been dating for a while now since we met at the solo premiere. I just felt like we really had something, you know. I think I just think it's time her and I both acknowledge.
Do you
that.
pay her to send you cameos so you feel like you're talking to her? Like you should send you messages and you feel like they're personal, you know? Yeah.
Well,
I super chats have been going.
I put on her show Fleabag, and I'm pretty sure she talks to me through the TV screen. Does that sound crazy? But no. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But
no.
Thank you. Santa gave me a $20 super chat and said, "Get yourself some cold meds and rest." Oh, thanks, buddy. Maybe if I take enough of that cold meds, maybe I will see Phoebe Waller-Bridge talking to me, and maybe Phoebe Bridgers will show up, and we'll all have a party. Why did somebody's name have to be Phoebe Bridgers and with Phoebe Waller-Bridge? It's too hard. I can't keep up with it. It's just too difficult. Anyways, I liked her in Solo. I know a lot of people did it. A lot of people had a problem with the character. But I think she's hilarious all in all. And I'm glad that she's actually like a character, not like a fucking CGI robot, you know, in something that they're doing. Because I think she's great. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is Indy's goddaughter, Helena, in Indiana Jones 5. She's a mystery and a wonder. Exclusive image. And here we can see the picture of her right there. Look at Indiana Jones. He's like, God damn, if you weren't my goddaughter, right? No, probably not. Okay. The rise of Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been remarkable to behold. This is by Ben Travis, who also wrote the last article. After smashing the fourth wall and grabbing the world's attention with Fleabag, then rejuvenating the small screen spy drama with Killing Eve, which I still haven't seen Killing Eve, but I mean to. She blasted off to a galaxy far, far away in android form in Solo: A Star Wars Story, hosted SNL, and brushed up 007's dialogue in No Time to Die. Next stop, Indiana Jones 5, where she'll play a pivotal part Harrison Ford's final fedora-topped outing. In Indy's 1969 set adventure, she enters the fray as Helena, none other than Henry Jones Jr.'s goddaughter. So that seems to back up. What's that guy that you like a lot, that you always watch his stuff?
There's so many, Jason.
He cited me. He used my article recently, and you saw it. You said he used
Campia.
Campia said this. Sorry, I apologize. I just blanked on his name. I am on cold meds, and But yeah, Campia
Giovanni.
Campia. He's the one who said it. And I think he had the scoop on that shit. So good on the Campster. So she's a mystery and a wonder, Waller-Bridge tells Empire, teasing her largely under wraps role. In fact, plenty of adjectives abound when describing Helena. According to incoming director James Mangold, she is slippery, charming, the girl next door, a grifter. Uh-oh, you know what that means?
Man's goal's describing his childhood babysitter.
I think she's gonna come on YouTube saying that Kathleen Kennedy's fired and not even knowing who fucking Rick McCallum is.
She's gonna take over that Indiana Jones channel. Man.
She's gonna be saying would be good if maybe General Grievous was in Indiana Jones.
Disney Civil War. Disney Civil War.
So, per Harrison Ford himself, I mean, this show has more mucus sounding noises than General Grievous. So this is pretty much the most on point Star Wars show of all time. She's slippery, charming, the girl next door, grifter. Pete Harrison, per Harrison, I thought I said Pete Harrison. Per Harrison Ford, Pete Harrison.
Jesus, Jason.
Per Harrison Ford himself, she's a pioneer in ethical accounting. And for the actor, it's all sprang from a conversation with legendary producer Kathleen Kennedy. Kennedy was in London and asked to have dinner with me and casually mentioned this, recalls Waller-Bridge. I immediately ordered 10 bottles of wine. Then it was the fastest I've ever read a script. Excuse me. I came out of a sort of haze afterwards. I just couldn't believe how much fun I had and how moved I was by it. And then I had a zoom and screamed, yeah, at them all.
My dog goes through the same thing. Gets the zoomies, drinks way too much wine, runs around the house, passes out.
For
never, ever leave your glass of wine lying out for a puppy to get a hold of, and then they yak it all up.
Puppies love wine, and then they want to fight. For Mangold, a key reference point for Waller-Bridge in bringing Helena to life was Barbara Stanwyck's role in 1941 screwball comedy The Lady Eve. By the way, in case people don't know, look up what screwball comedies are to understand the difference. I've seen people already starting to try to grift on this line here. All that stuff that you love in Empire Strikes Back with Han and Leia and the will they or won't they stuff, that's all based off of the screwball comedy, just so you know. So it's a bit of I would say in modern times, maybe has more to do with a banter style. Oh, hey, Sandra.
Oh. My favorite screwball comedy is Some Like It Ho! Ho-hos! Ho! Ho! All right.
I'm trying to wipe my nose.
I broke Jason.
You're supposed to keep it going while I wipe my nose.
I like it better when you're just leaking out.
I know. It's
that
so
is,
annoying. It's not even like it's just like a drip of stuff. It's not like even solid. It's just water. Anyways, so she says, but among all the conning and the comedy also came the chance to leap into a kind of massive action set piece that Indiana Jones movies do best. Honestly, I just loved it, she says. When you're playing a character who throws herself on the back of a vehicle, there's no acting around that. You have to bloody do it. The mystery and wonder of Helena is about to unfold.
All of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade could be described as a screwball comedy.
Yeah.
That movie is the very definition of a modern blockbuster. Modern, it's 30 years old. But,
right.
when it came out,
right,
of a modern take on a screwball comedy, 100% from beginning to end. Right down to the shot at the sunset when Marcus is falling off his camel and shit like that,
Yeah.
And it could still have serious themes. It's not, but these fucking assholes, man, kills me. Is you mention Paper Moon, and then they'll endlessly act like they're fucking some film aficionado, because Paper Moon's a serious and dramatic. You say screwball comedy, and like they're basically omitting shit like Maltese Falcon.
Paper Moon is kind of a screwball comedy of sorts, right?
The Maltese Falcon has a lot of like.
Am I wrong there? Would I be wrong in saying that? Would I be wrong in saying that?
And Some Like a Hot had a pretty fucking like gangster opening. All those people get murdered and shit. It's a mass St. Valentine's Day massacre and shit. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
They're on the run from the mob, dude.
Right.
Oh no, man. Like, do you think these people know who Howard Hawks is for real? You think
I
they
don't
know?
even
They
know.
don't know.
I don't even know.
So.
But I do know that Helena is not.
He's like the girl next door, Howard Hawks. He's a grifter. He's a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
So I'm not going to pick on Empire Magazine for what Lucasfilm gives them and for what they're confirming. I mean, it's good stuff.
Knew Jason was a leaker.
Hey, so that's what she said. So they confirm what we've already known for the whole time, since we saw Harrison Ford with silly little dots all over his face all summer. Indiana Jones 5's opening sequences de-ages Harrison Ford to original trilogy indie exclusive. And once again, I don't know about the exclusive part on that, but okay. But you did get it exclusively from them, like they wanted you to know, as opposed to everybody else knowing it and having exclusives about it over the summer. An Indiana Jones movie needs a killer opening sequence. The booby-trapped, boulder-rolling tomb, the original Lost Ark, the Poison and Diamonds musical number in Temple of Doom, the Easter egg-laden River Phoenix starring flashback that begins Last Crusade, my personal favorite, the atomic bomb test scramble in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I also love that too. That's fun. Each represents a pure distillation of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas's love of adventurous serials, pitching the audience straight into the action and giving you a thrill before the story proper has even begun. When taking over the reins for Indiana Jones 5, incoming director James Mangold not only had a high bar to live up to, but the opportunity to do something particularly special in the opening minutes. I wanted the chance to dive into this kind of full-on George and Steven old picture and give the audience an adrenaline blast. Mangold tells Empire and our world exclusive Indiana Jones 5 issue. Please buy it. Please buy it. The solution, a set piece that dials the clock back to 1944, set in a castle swarming with Nazis.
Fucking castle won't die.
Yeah, you know what? I heard some stuff about that castle, by the way. That because I've seen stuff. I've seen like it being attacked by like Viking kind of people and shit, and like Romans and stuff that are there. It's like, so I think like not Romans, but yeah, it's like being like plundered or something like that location.
People don't know, Jason. But if you go and read the Rinsler Indiana Jones book, you can track that Lucas had wanted this haunted castle. It was a Scottish castle originally, in a Jones script since Raiders even. And they could never find a place to put it. And it kind of becomes the basis for Temple, and that's technically a haunted castle, right?
For what?
When you think about it.
Oh yeah, no, it makes it into Last Crusade. Yeah.
Right, but if you think about Temple of Doom, it's technically a haunted castle, but it isn't. It isn't technically haunted, but you see what I mean. And then they put the castle in to Last Crusade, but Last Crusade originally opened up with literally Indy fighting ghosts and shit, and they didn't want to go that fantasy route, so it didn't happen.
Bayback says, I was thoroughly entertained by one of Doomcock's streams when he wasn't able to keep his story straight and was laughing, and he was saying his bullshit. It's entertaining when he's blatantly trolling. Yeah, I don't know, I guess. The solution, a set piece that dials the clock back to 1944. And then we fall out and you find yourself in 1969. Mangold explains in the transition to the main action of the film, so that the audience doesn't experience the change between the 40s and 60s as an intellectual conceit, but literally experiences the buccaneering spirit of those early days and then beginning of now.
So I guess the movie opens up in the 40s.
Yeah,
I read that,
which is what it means, which is what we knew this. I mean, we just knew this based off of the fact that every indie movie has an opening 20 minutes that's not necessarily connected to the film, or it's thematically connected to the film, but that's about it.
Sometimes it's Cape Catchild singing.
Yeah, so
cool
yeah,
dress.
but it's the opening 20-minute adventure, and then the real movie goes on, and and I honestly think that
cock blows. Oh, sorry.
I think that there's something really, like magical about that kind of idea. I think it makes the movie fucking go fast. I think like after that, when you get into like the actual movie, it has to fucking book it. And that's what makes when the indie movies are working, that's what makes them work so well, and they're so easy to watch. At least for me, anyways. They don't have time to sit there and fucking make it a slow movie. Several techniques were employed to pull the sequence off, including new ILM software, that trawled through archived material of the younger Harrison Ford before matching it to the freshly shot footage, which is basically the deep fake shit, right? Probably they
Yeah.
probably have, I wonder if they've improved it. The original Raiders jacket was even pulled out of storage, possibly from the sprawling Area 51 warehouse, and tried back on by Ford before being replicated thread for thread. My hope is that although it will be talked about in terms of technology, you just watch it and go, oh my God, they just found footage that was a thing they shot 40 years ago, says producer Kathleen Kennedy. We're dropping you into an adventure, something Indy is looking for, and instantly you have that feeling I'm in an Indiana Jones movie. For its star, coming face to face with his younger self, even had him convinced. This is the first time I've seen it where I believe it, Ford tells Empire. It's a little spooky. I don't think I even want to know how it works, but it works. And that's now that he's pining to return to the time of the original indie movies. Doesn't make me want to be young, though. He says, I'm glad to have earned my age. Or a certain adventuring archaeologist once put it, it's not the years, it's the mileage. So, and then they have the plug we've already read. So yeah, so I mean, so it's good stuff. You know what I mean? It's good stuff, but it's nice confirmation of things. But we still don't know a title, and we still don't know what the fucking premise of the movie is. And but we did see Indy with that gold clock from his retirement clock, and we do see that yet they have their hands on a clock back in the 40s. Toby Jones' character has the same clock or something very similar to it. So my take is it may not be about time travel, but it is about time. Like a guy retiring at the end of his career, maybe, at least.
He gets a gold watch.
Yeah, I guess like I didn't know this, but I guess like the gold watch has different forms, and some people it's a clock, like a.
Sometimes
like
it comes in the form of a mighty Tor. I gotta tell you, a lot of the sloths were roasting the pits of fire hell that day. I don't know the fucking thing.
I love that.
He says so much shit.
That is the best delivery in Ghostbusters, though. The way he does
really
that
is.
line is just, yeah, I'll tell you. Like the way he says it, like whatever. It's just so fucking good. It gets me every time. I've seen that movie probably 300
I really
times.
should keep that at the ready so I can read it properly, but I've never
Put it
bothered to learn
on a post-it, Rob. Put it on a post-it. That's what I say.
I know.
Yeah.
Right next to wash hands after. No, never mind.
So we're going to talk about some Andor spoilers here. And I talked to a couple of the people over the weekend who have the little screener thing there. So if you don't want any spoilers from it, jump out. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because I'm seeing the fake shit.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Reva did it. It's all about Reva.
It's a bait and switch. It's a bait.
She's
and
coming
switch.
right at the last episode, and
trust
she's
me.
been. Yeah.
Trust me, Anakin's not even in this. The Clone Wars aren't even in this, according to spoiler reports. Fuck you, you fucking bozos. Don't even know who Rick McCallum is. Gonna act like you can analyze Star Wars. You don't even know who fucking made it. Jesus Christ, idiots. Anyways, so yeah, the people keep asking like, oh yeah, like Krennic's in it. There's this rumor going around that Krennic is at the end. We see Krennic. We don't see Krennic. That isn't true. That's complete bullshit. The story that we're going to be getting this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, however you want to look at it, is the natural culmination of all of the things that, you know what I mean, that we've seen. Like we had I think like the big thing that I saw somebody hinting at this. So since they're hinting at it, they're going to play that fucking game. I'm just going to tell you. Basically, you know, that fucking boy, you know, the boy and the father. The boy, like the one who has like the radio tower in his place, Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
I don't know what we call him. I don't remember what their names are, but the guy kind of looks like he's from Super Mario Brothers. So that, I mean, that guy,
Luigi
you know,
and
turned into. Well, we seen in this trailer that that the son throws the brick, and we know that people are being put in the bricks. So you could put this together.
Oh no!
You know,
he throws Marva.
No, he throws. I think he throws his father. I think it's his father.
Oh.
Salman Pack.
What if he takes his father's brick and bashes in the head of the guy that murdered his dad with his dad's brick? That would be crazy, right? That's hardcore metal shit right there.
Yeah.
That if that happens, I'm telling you right now, that's the most metal shit to ever appear in Star Wars. More than
Yeah.
blowing up a whole planet full of billions of people. Like,
Yeah, and we have Marva come up in that hologram out of B2, and she starts like telling it how it is, and then the stormtroopers are gonna like try to stop it. The Empire or whatever gets nervous, and like one of them kicks fucking B2. Then I guess fucking
I'll fucking kill him.
Brazo has Marva's brick and just fucking beats him with the brick.
I'm pulling out my shotgun like Horus from Monster Squad.
Yeah.
My name is Horus, and then I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker. No one touches BMO.
Yeah, nobody touches BMO. But basically, yeah. So like you get like this like whole like war thing or insurgency going on now in the uprising on the planet, and then you have Bix. Remember, there's those tunnels they keep talking about go underneath the area. They get Bix out. And that's why Andor goes back. And Andor doesn't go back with Boba Fett. Doesn't go back because of a bounty. I thought there's a bounty hunter and chases him back. That doesn't happen. It's all bullshit. All that's bullshit. And these people, they're going around and they're like, by the way, the grifters, what they're doing is they're suggesting this stuff. So when it doesn't happen, they could say they always said, and then Disney doesn't know what they're doing. And Star Wars is dumb because it's not as good as what they would do. And it's just the whole thing, right? It's what they do. Fuck them. It's low hanging fruit. It's so stupid. But all of it's going to be like real, organic to the story. It's not going to like fucking take a left fucking. There's no M. Night twist to the story, And then the gist is at the end you have Luthen.
M. Night Marvia. Marvia. You know what I'm talking.
Marva?
Marvia. There's something there, folks. It's forming.
Well, at the end, you basically have Andor getting back to Luthen's ship before Luthen, and the guns there or whatever, like the weapon, and he's like, the maybe it's the cane, I don't remember now, but he's like, basically you could kill me or you could take me with you. And then Luthen's happy. And Bix and Brasso and B2, they get off the planet together. And that's kind of like everything. And and what I talked about before, where you have what's her name? Milky Girl. What's her name? And fucking cereal guy. Cyril Karn. And Dedra Morrow, she's about to get mobbed during that riot as it breaks out. And Cyril Karn shows up and saves her and pulls her out, has a gun and a mask or something. Maybe he has a mask. I'm not sure about that, but he like gets her out, and then like they have like a moment, but it's not like they get together or anything, but they have a moment. And so everybody kind of ends up in like a logical place, like where you would think and I've heard that the actual like riot itself is fucking just great. Like it's really good. Like it's super good. It's the two people said they liked it better than the prison riot. I fucking love the prison riot. So it should be fun. It should be a fun thing. And it sounds good.
And I will always grift you.
Right. And then at the end we have the fucking Death Star, and we have the pieces, the droids working on it, putting the pieces in that they made. And I love that idea. I love that idea that like, in a way, like Andor made the Death Star against his will as a slave, and then he's the guy who helps destroy it. That's pretty cool. It's a really good story for that character, like all in all, And and then as Tris says, just but no credit, no lightsabers, no boss guy. Disney fail, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if we see those guys in season 2. Like, I think it would make sense that it like around season 2 we start going like, there's a Imperial Science Officer by Saw Gerrera, and Saw loves Jyn. Jyn is like his daughter. I mean, that's the impression I get when you look at how ruthless that guy is. For him to leave her with a gun and a thing is probably the most loving thing that the guy's done in years to somebody.
You're assuming people read Catalyst, Jason.
Well, in the movie,
Don't.
in the movie, it says that he's like, when they meet up again, he says that they
Sure, he's the
reiterate.
one that took them to that planet. I mean, but if they read the fucking book, they would.
But anyways, yeah. So I think that we might see like stuff about I would not be surprised if Bodhi Rook and all of those people end up like potentially in it. Krennic, Bodhi Rook, and Galen Urso seem like they could be in it. I honestly, Jin Urso, I don't think so because I think the stuff's already happened with her. I think she's already been left by Saw Gerrera. So she's out there being, what's her name? Like Helena something? Like Helena fucking Krennic? I don't remember what her name is. She has like her pseudonym. And she's out there like doing that shit. So she's probably just out there being a criminal. And so I wouldn't expect too much on that front, but who knows? Hey, a Star Wars podcast. Thanks, man. It's pronounced Bob Igor. Igor. Oh wait, did I?
He's Bob Iger. He's going to run the Disney so successfully. Yeah. Like these guys, dude.
All right. Wait, I don't see a DM from you.
Bob
wait, I
Iger
do.
now says Dole Whips are only $4.50 instead of $5.50. Like it's just ridiculous. Dude. What if Igor, man, just bought Dole Whip? Like he just makes another acquisition. He just buy Dole Whips, you know. And he's like, spent more of your money, bitches.
Tomorrow, if you're free, a Star Wars podcast, I'll send you an invite to come hang out if you are free tomorrow. We're about to wrap up on this bitch.
Yeah, we're about to rub this one out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need to go get some fucking more cold medicine in me, you know. But thank you again for the super chat, dude. And by the way, we were on the Star Wars podcast show the other day. I had a really good conversation, so make sure you check that out. I retweeted it and everything, so you can find it in my Twitter if you want to see it, or just follow the Star Wars podcast. And it's a good conversation. Roland says, I was explaining Fulcrum to my buddy yesterday and was reminded that Cassian is a Fulcrum agent at some point. Do you think we'll see him get recruited for it in season 2? I could be wrong, but I would not be surprised if at the end of this, this little moment between him and the guy probably what's gonna be it. That's probably the moment that the recruiting happens, and I think we're just gonna see rebel business from here on out. That's the impression that they're
there's
selling.
not a lot of time left. Like
Yeah.
when it was 5 seasons and they were planning on deep faking. Diego Luna for the next 10 fucking years. I mean, one thing, but it's going to be 4 3-episode mini movies the next season, basically. They've, so maybe they deal with, I could see that, like, maybe, like, the second set of movies they could do that, right? The second set of 3. But, the way they move, I don't know, man. I wouldn't count on all that extra shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, you could. I mean, you could. I wouldn't say like it won't happen. I think we'll see him doing the job more than getting the job, though. Just based off of the fact that like they have this clear like agreement, together at the end. And have you seen this picture, Arya? You asked Arya, how's the Death Star looking? Any destroyers and all that stuff? I mean, this is all that it is from what I understand, is we pull out from this. And like, so let's see right here. See right there on the bottom, you can see the Death Star. Then you can see that like they're working on the rings and they're going to place them inside there. They're like out there in orbit. So that's what you get. That's so like, I don't know how you like the rumors about Krennic and shit. Like, where would he be? Fucking floating out there in space
of unlimited power, right? Unlimited
Yeah.
power. That's rings of unlimited power.
Maybe he's like Fall Guys and he like jumps in there and then he has to get those for points. I don't know. And then Matthew Saw Gerrera is going to be in it though, right? I wouldn't say we have it confirmed, but I think it's a super safe assumption. Like we were talking about, me and Besman were talking about this. You really could have cut Saw Gerrera from the first season of the show. Not saying it doesn't help, but in terms of it, like if they had known that they weren't going to do 5 seasons, I don't think Saw Gerrera would have been in these episodes. I think it's just about like starting it up and putting him in and introducing him, but you don't really need it. So you really could have done everything that happens really could have happened in the next season. And to the same like efficacy, I think in the next season he's more needed than he was in the first season. So that's why I say it's a given. He will show up like in the second one. Yes, I do need to get that Benadryl. The problem with Benadryl, KG, is it knocks me the fuck out. I
Let's
go
call
to
it
sleep.
Benadryl.
Yeah.
What?
You want to put me to sleep?
You want a Dole Whip? Want to buy me a Dole Whip?
It's like that weird speaking thing where people make like a statement, so like a question at the end, but
What?
it's Saw Gerrera doing it like,
As a matter of
like
fact,
I think Warwick Davis is maybe kind of okay.
George is very reserved about these things. He thinks in dollars instead of like creatively most of the time. So I don't think it's the right time right now. And as John has mentioned, on Solo, everything came together. The stars aligned, and here we are. It all happened.
And that killed Wade.
Gets old.
That killed
Never
Wade.
gets old.
I'm gonna miss you, Wade. You always be our boy, Wade.
Why do we get the Dole Whips? Why?
whip, stir whip. Says YouTube Premium. You're straight up YouTube Premium. You are.
Come on, YouTube Plus would have been the real
YouTube Plus.
Do better. Do better.
YouTube Prime Plus. Give it time. Give it time. Rolla says, I don't think we'll see Cal in anything for a while, although I love to see him be brought to live action somehow. I know. I think it's a double-edged sword, because if they start putting him in movies and TV shows, ruins what they could do with him in games. So I think it's like they want to keep him, available in the game. They don't really want to put him in stuff because it closes down what the possibilities are. So I think if he dies in the next game, for instance, then it's whatever at that point.
I'm hoping on it, man. I don't think any of these games should have. I think the lead character should be a character you get to make. Like, they can have a person act all they want, a female and a male, and just alter the voice. But I like the you creating your own character shit. I'm tired of fucking. I want to make it a hammerhead with an afro and a fucking human or a, what was that? The bat nose. I want to just give me all the fucking options.
Yeah,
I'm tired of their art direction for heroes of Star Wars.
I think people love Cal though, and they think he's the new Wade. I mean, that's the impression I'm getting from the chat today.
Shit what they love. I'm being selfish,
dude. We haven't seen a character like Wade come along in a long time.
You can make your own Wade if you want to. Look, this Harry Potter game. I don't even fucking like Harry Potter. This Harry Potter game's got a crazy get to make your own person. I'm sorry, man. Like it's a AAA game. I get the first game was done on a budget, but they should be able to let you make your own character if you want to.
But how could Cho Chang do that to Harry? How could she?
Her name is Cho Chang. This is ridiculous.
Cho Chang broke Harry's heart. She broke Harry's heart. So, anyways, Lambhead should be playable. All right, with that, we're gonna play out with Lambhead today because, I mean, you convinced me. If I could find it, I might not be able to. I found it. All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow if I'm not sick.
I'm just so happy that Igor's back. Igor's back. He's the best.
I am Igor.
Ever. I mean,
Kathy Kennedy, what news do you have for me today?
And the Marvel movies suck, but the Igor's back. This is the best day of my life. I love it.
I am Lambhead, protector of the realm.